What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Your Manhood is Your Responsibility. When you're growing up from a child, from a child to a teenager to a young man, to a man, those are levels, you know what I mean? But there's gonna come a certain age where excuses about your manhood are obsolete, where it's gonna become your responsibility. You could have been raised, you could be a late bloomer as far as you weren't taught certain things. Or you were raised in an environment that tried to make you effeminate or demonize your masculinity, so you kind of put yourself on hold. But there's going to come a point where men are going to look at you like, look, your manhood is your responsibility. It is what it is. There's a point where you're going to be old enough to recognize, and the guys are going to tell you if you aren't old enough to recognize, that we conduct ourselves as men in certain ways. And you can't blame that on anybody else. And the reason I say that is because once you become an adult, people understand how your childhood and your upbringing and where you were, your class, how all that can affect you to a degree. But the choices that you make as an adult are your choices. So there's nobody to blame. And there are going to be guys who correct you like, hey, the hell you doing? We don't do that. That's what it is. What do I mean by that? You might say, my father wasn't in my life. And there'll be a bunch of men that understand you. But there's going to be a bunch of men in that group like, my father wasn't either. So guess what? I still figured it out. You got to figure it out. Your manhood is your responsibility. Some of you guys might say something like, well, I was raised around nothing but women, so I took on these characteristics. And they say, yeah, we can tell. We see that. But you're grown. And those are bad characteristics, and that men don't operate like that. So guess what? Your manhood is your responsibility. So you need to straighten up. That's it. And ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing else. And as far as being a man, you gotta, like Shannon Sharp would say, you gotta update your resume. You gotta make sure you gotta update your resume to the point that you're on autopilot updating your resume as being a man. And that's the thing. You might have been raised in a situation where manhood, masculinity was demonized, so you don't want to be a man because you feel like that's inherently bad position or bad ideology or evil position to come from. Guys gonna look at you like, okay, whatever. You're gonna have to take responsibility for your manhood, because you can't believe that's the ideology when most of the good things in society were done by men that helped mankind. Even in religions, most of the prophets, most of the gods, most of the prophets, most of the anointed ones were guys. Can't be that evil. There were some horrible guys along the way. History can prove that. But we ignore all the good fellas. That wasn't a play on the good fellas, okay? But that's the issue. It's your responsibility. Even when it comes to this gender war stuff. You can't say, well, I can't really be a man that I want to be because of these women. Unacceptable. Don't nobody want to hear that. You're going to have to be a man with or without women acting like women. Period. You know, that ain't no comma, ain't no but, ain't no well if, ain't none of that. It's your responsibility. You know, there are certain things you might have to take an L in society just because of your gender. And you know this. You're going to have to make sacrifices in this society just because of your gender. You know this. So that's your responsibility as a man. You know, that's what it is. Sometimes, you know, you're going to be called on to protect somebody. That's your responsibility as a man. You're going to be called on to be somebody's provider. That's somebody's mentor. That's part of being a man. You know, you're going to be somebody's first and last line of defense. You're going to have to think outside of yourself. You're going to have to be, you might have to be a sacrificial lamb. You know, because, you know, manhood is your responsibility. It might happen. You might have to think of a way to help a bunch of people out while saving yourself. Get the job done and then save myself. Second, that's how it goes sometimes. That's what it is. You know, that's the responsibility of manhood. And there's no running from that. You know, you might have to stop doing childish things that are unbecoming of men. You know, you might have to stop acting ladylike if you one of them kind of guys. You don't do that. You know, and this is the issue. Like, your manhood is your responsibility because it's for each individual man to go down that path. Like, at a certain point, in a sense, it's supposed to be communal of teaching you how to be a man, but it's singular about you acting accordingly as a man. So you're judged by your works, your actions, your successes, your failures, how you react to adversity in life. No man can step in for you and protect is going to protect and provide for you when it comes to your life. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and know that, you know, you can handle just about any situation life throws at you. You know, this is the responsibility of being a man. You know, sometimes there's a certain amount of honor that goes into play, a certain amount of integrity, a certain amount of dignity that once you go below that threshold, you know, there's a code of conduct, and that code of conduct. That code of conduct is your responsibility. Once you go beneath that code of conduct, you know, your character is into question. You can win some, you can lose some. But if you quit on your masculinity and your manhood, that's hard, man. That's not a. You might not be able to come back from that. You know, sometimes you're gonna be demonized unfairly, and you're gonna have to stand up strong and stand tall, and just take it and clear yourself while you're under pressure. That could be, you know, part of manhood. It is what it is, you know. And this is the reason I make this video, is because a lot of people act like there's not a responsibility as far as being a man, like everything goes and everything doesn't go. But the truth of it is as men, we observe each other. And we'll let you know if you going in the right direction or the wrong, you know. But we're not going to be up men for you. That's your responsibility. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.